was also very honoured to hear from Tahir Boubedra and to be following him as a very distinguished expert. And I listened carefully to what he said, particularly about COBLA. I do think that the situation has reached such a grave position that we should get rid of COBLA if we possibly can. And I'm wondering whether, with parliamentarians, we could jointly find some means of raising this with the Foreign Office and with the State Department, and try and get a louder voice to draw attention to the iniquities that are perpetrated by COBLA, to the great disadvantage of the people who are suffering these appalling conditions in the so-called Camp Liberty. I must say there couldn't have been a more ironic name given to a concentration camp in history. So let's try amongst ourselves, our parliamentarians, with the help of advisors, whoever we can get, and maybe David Vaughan could help us with legal advice on how we proceed to engineer the dismissal of somebody who's obviously not up to the job. Not only that, but is actually working in a direction immediately contrary to what the terms of reference should allow. There are other mechanisms. I think that the UN special procedures do provide a leverage, and you all know about the report of the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, which did expose the conditions in Camp Liberty in modest language, but in entirely irrefutable evidence, which I think can't be questioned. If it comes from PMI, they'll say, oh, well, they would say that, wouldn't they? But when it comes from a distinguished authority like the Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, this cannot be challenged. These people in Camp Liberty, the working group says, felt as if they were in prison. They found themselves in a situation of deprivation of liberty, no possibility of obtaining authorization to go out of the camp. They couldn't receive visits from relatives or legal counsel. They had a 4-meter-high concrete wall surrounding them, and the conditions are described. They lack the most basic infrastructure and sanitary conditions. Electricity is only intermittent, running water supply is insufficient, residential areas surrounded by layers of sandbags and a concrete wall, surveillance cameras and sandbags are installed all around the camp. So let me assure you that we in Parliament are doing everything that we possibly can to resolve the process of Camp Liberty, and we need your backing as well to pursue these efforts more intensively than we have in the past. I promise you that we will bend every effort to securing a satisfactory outcome